EJ and Belle are texting back and forth, flirting, when Rita walks into the Dimra home, memory card in hand. She hands it over, then Tony waltzes in for dinner with EJ, delighted to see Rita. But he knows what she's doing there, he claims. EJ can't hide things from him. After some more pleasantries, Rita heads out, and Tony tells EJ he can confide in him if he's in trouble. EJ holds out the memory card and says, "Johnny's the one in trouble, not him." EJ explains what's on the card and walks Tony through it all. Tony can't believe it, though. He gets why Johnny was so upset learning about EJ's reprehensible behavior towards Sammy. But that doesn't mean Johnny pulled the trigger. But when EJ vows to protect his son at all costs, Tony says he will too. Chad and Gabby are having dinner at the bistro, though he's skeptical of why she wanted to get together. He figures it's there to talk about Gabby Chic and the Spectator, but instead she wants to chat about your birthright. She thinks Chad is the perfect Demera to get the family company back. But Chad's not interested. It's just been a front for illegal activity. It only existed to fund his family's schemes. Gabby admits she's reached her limit with the Kiriakis family in charge, and she can't get out of her contract. The company's about to implode, and if it does, Chad's children's futures will go up in smoke too. He needs to step up to the plate. Chad then takes a call from Leo, much to Gabby's annoyance, after which talk turns to Chad's date with Kat and the skydiving accident. Gabby's also surprised overhearing that. She's not judging Kat, but she wants to know what's really going on between Chad and Kat. He just says the more he learns about her, the more he likes her. As in, like? Chad insists they're just friends, and that's giving him enough trouble with Jennifer. As they're talking over Kat, Tony and EJ show up, and Chad greets his eldest brother with a joyful hug. Gabby's a lot cooler with EJ. Tony asks if they can join. Gabby thanks him for the lovely offer, then says she has to go. Before she leaves, Tony asks if she heard from Stefan lately. Nothing since he left Salem, Gabby says. Tony mentions reaching out to Stefan when they visited Alemania, but they never heard back. Chad figures Stefan followed through and cut ties, while EJ says he got a card from Stefan. He's sure he's fine. Tony, though, worries that Stefan's in some kind of trouble. That's great, Thomas says. But why? He doesn't think it's just because they want to visit family more. JJ wonders that too. Once Thomas heads out to the kitchen, though, Jack admits Jen also wants to keep an eye on Kat. When Thomas comes back, he nearly wipes his grandmother out of the game, then offers a trade for her to stay in. If they tell him the real reason they're visiting more. Is someone sick? Jack and Jen make up an excuse about wanting to be back more for Julie. She's been so sad since Doug died. Jack and JJ head out to talk in the hall, where JJ wonders why his mom is so focused on Kat now. If she is spending more time with Chad, JJ will keep an eye on her too. They head back in to finish Monopoly, where Thomas drops the news that Gabby dumped JJ, which is the first time an annoyed Jennifer heard her son was dating her. She lists off Gabby's crimes, and JJ says this is why he never said anything. They start getting into it as Jack hurries Thomas out, then comes back in to try calming everyone. It doesn't matter, JJ says. Gabby dumped him and it's moot. There's no going back. Out in the square, Kat's on the phone when someone appears to be following behind her. She gets spooked, but turns around to see no one. She makes it to the park, where Shane sneaks up on her. What, no hello for your old boss? He just wants to be sure his employees stay on their toes. Former employee, Kat says, reminding him she was just an analyst, not even a field agent. He wants her back, and she doesn't have a choice. But, he clarifies, it just means she'll come back on her own once he explains the stakes. Kat sits, reluctantly, and goes off, talking about how her investigating Clyde led to her father dying, her mom getting brainwashed, and her almost dying. But her services are done. I can't afford to end up like John Black. Shane accuses her of a low blow, and the world is more dangerous with John gone. That's why Kat's needed. That and her personal connection with the case. Since she's already working at the hospital with Marlena, she's the perfect person to find new boss EJ's partner, Ease, who must have given him the funds, and take down the Demera criminal enterprise. Shane is sure EJ's planning something besides making money off the Versavix drug patent. That's too far off to be worth the payoff. Kat reluctantly agrees to keep her ears open and to report back only if she hears something useful. Splendid! But Kat's done when this is done, and the ISA will leave her alone for good. Jack and Jennifer say goodbye to Thomas and JJ, promising they'll be back soon. After JJ leaves, he runs into Gabby in the square, where he apologizes again. He was wrong to accuse her. Gabby happily asks what changed, and JJ says it was the memory card Rafe planted. So new evidence, she declares flatly, then walks off coldly after a few more words. Chad, Tony, and EJ toast to their father, and Tony brings up the Dimera company being swiped. He blames it on the Dimeras being at each other's throats and says they need to unite to bring back the company. I'm afraid not, EJ says. Dimera Enterprises has just given him misery. He thinks the future is on the hospital, and his is on repairing his relationship with Johnny. Tony turns to Chad, who is perfectly happy running the Spectator. Chad says his farewells, though Tony snaps that the conversation isn't over. Then EJ gets a message from Belle, and he, too, leaves a dumbfounded Tony alone. He calls Anna and says that he brought up his concerns, but neither EJ nor Chad have any interest in helping. If the family business is to be saved, it seems I am the one who has to do it. Shane thanks Kat for her cooperation and wishes her the very best. She heads into the square, where Chad runs into her, and they confirm they're still on for dinner, while a ticked JJ watches from behind a tree. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. After weeks of sadness for the Brady, Black, and Donovan clans, it's time for a little love, light, and happiness in the form of a wedding. 2 weeks ago, they all gathered at St. Luke's for John's funeral, but now they are there for a happy occasion. Andrew and Paul are getting married, with Eric serving as their officiant, Brady serving as one of the best men, and Shane serving as the other. It's a family affair as 2 clans come together. But everyone still has a little bit of drama they are not leaving behind. Shane asks Tate about his complicated love life and whether he regrets his breakup with Holly. Tate can't even think about that right now, when he and Sophia still need to find adoptive parents. Meanwhile, Belle leans on her pseudo-sister Carrie for support, as they both feel the loss of John. In the end, Paul and Andrew make it official in a beautiful ceremony that combines many family traditions. Will they stay in Salem or leave town for another ISA adventure? As they get ready for the happy festivities, Marlena can tell that something is still bothering Rachel. After hearing Rachel tell someone, "Don't shoot," in her sleep, Marlena knows Rachel is keeping a big secret and finally gets her to open up. A distraught Rachel tells Marlena that she knows who shot Uncle EJ, but does she tell her everything she saw in the Dimera living room that fateful night? Rachel remembers seeing Johnny and EJ arguing that night while Johnny waved a gun. However, EJ did not argue with the person who actually pulled the trigger, so does Rachel only think she knows the truth? Marlena knows she has to calm her granddaughter down because it's almost time for a wedding, and they have to put this behind them for now, but Marlena is sure to return to this very revealing topic. Welcome to the Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Longtime Days of Our Lives fans will remember that Salem found its answer to Port Charles's WSB with the ISA way back in 1982 when Roman Brady arrived on the scene. At first, he was just your average Salem PD detective assigned to protect talk radio psychiatrist Dr. Marlena Evans from the Salem Strangler. Then, we saw him enter a secret room filled with gadgets and computers, and the ISA was born. Roman was not just a cop, but an ISA agent tasked with taking down the Dimeras. 2 years later, we met his old buddy Shane Donovan, another ISA agent tasked with the same mission. More than 40 years later, Shane is still at it, trying to bring down the Dimeras. So we had to laugh today when she told Kat that was exactly what he wanted her help with. We remembered those days long ago, when the 1980s ISA was all consumed with bringing down Stefano and his many children. There are even more children now when DiMera Enterprises has actually seemed like a legit enterprise for the last few years. Apparently, they are still a criminal organization on the ISA's radar 4 decades later. It all comes full circle, doesn't it? Shane is an agent, Roman is running a bar, and Marlena's assistant is now the one who is going to get the goods on DiMera. But will it be for good? Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full DOOL recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that we've got a July sweeps preview, so let's discuss all the Salem shockers to come. There'll be some big twists as multiple storylines head in new directions, so here's what Days has in store. For starters, Emily O'Brien will reprise her role as Gwen Rizchesh, which means DOOL viewers will have a chance to get reacquainted with her. Gwen's life has undergone some major changes since the last time she was in town. Since Gwen successfully scored Dmitri von Lochner's fortune, she's a very wealthy woman now. Days spoilers say Gwen will come back ready to flaunt her riches and throw her new power around. Of course, Gwen's going to need a friend, so she'll patch things up with Leo Stark sooner or later. Gwen and Maddie should get their BFF status back on track, but they may draw each other into fresh trouble down the road. Leo may remain tangled up in Doug Williams III loan shark mess as well. Holly Jonas and Ariana Ari Horton could easily be at risk for a kidnapping, ransom, and rescue story. As for Sophia Choi and Tate Black, they'll have some adoption-related disagreements as the baby's birth draws near. Tate may try to convince Sophia they should raise the child themselves, but she may struggle to get on board. Will Tate make a bold move to win Sophia over? We could certainly see Tate proposing marriage and trying to make Sophia believe they could all be a happy family together. However, that blissful bubble could burst fast if Aaron Green turns out to be the biological father in the end. Days writers have offered some clues that point in this Aaron, baby daddy direction, so stick with us for updates on any heartbreaking news ahead for Tate. Over with Kat Green, it looks like she's gearing up for an ISA assignment that'll force her to hide the truth from Chad DiMera. As Chad and Kat's bond deepens this July, could Kat let him in on the secret mission anyway? Shane Donovan wouldn't approve, but Kat might decide she's done deceiving Chad since she's hurt him enough as it is. Meanwhile, Sarah Horton Kyriakis and Xander Kyriakis' custody conflict will get much worse. Victoria Kyriakis will land at the center of this escalating hostility, but just how far will Xander go to be with his daughter? Finally, Johnny DiMera's name should be cleared following some arrest drama. Will that pave the way for the big reveal of who actually shot EJ DiMera that night? Days of Our Lives spoilers say July will be full of excitement no matter what, so don't miss all the action. Days of Our Lives spoilers update for the week of June 23 to 27 reveals that EJ DiMera will do everything in his power to protect Johnny DiMera, which could mean destroying the memory stick after Rita Leslie brings it back from wherever she hid it. However, there could be a problem if that memory stick falls into the wrong hands before EJ can get rid of it. Even if EJ successfully obliterates the evidence against Johnny, he won't count on Rachel Black spilling to Marlena Evans. Since Rachel will tell Grandma Marlena that Johnny is EJ's shooter, Johnny will face Marlena and Roman Brady's interrogation soon after. Johnny will admit to pulling a gun on his father, but he'll swear he didn't go through with shooting him. Someone else did the deed instead, but Johnny is the one who'll go down for the crime. At least for now. Jada Hunter will gather enough proof to arrest Johnny for EJ's attempted murder, and it looks like it'll happen right after Johnny makes peace with his dad. As for Shane Donovan, Days spoilers say he won't take no for an answer during a tense discussion with Kat Green. It sounds like Kat's being roped into an ISA mission, but Rafe Hernandez could get suspicious after their park encounter. Rafe is doing work for the FBI through the Chicago office, so Kat could find herself at the center of an investigation. Next, Andrew Donovan and Paul Narita will have a sweet wedding day before their joint day's exit. Shane will be there for the nuptials and will eventually have a conversation with Tate Black about Sophia Choi's baby. Sophia's labor was a false alarm, but the baby could still be here any day now. Shane will sense that Tate might be having doubts about the adoption, so will Tate want to raise this kid himself? Sophia is afraid that's the way things are headed, so she'll want to lock in adoptive parents ASAP and will seek Melinda Trask's help to make it happen. Other days' spoilers say Xander Kyriakis will have a plan that involves protecting Titan Dimera. We'll see Xander juggle that with the looming custody battle, so look for him to deliver threats and insults to Sarah Horton Kyriakis as part of their next face-off. Since Xander refuses to let Sarah shove him out of Victoria Kyriakis' life, there's going to be trouble. Although Belle Black recently followed her heart and declared her love to EJ, more problems are already brewing. Belle will launch a confrontation with EJ, so she may grill him about Johnny and what he's been covering up. As for Kate Roberts Brady, she'll vow to get revenge on Xander. Since Philip Kyriakis is hiding Xander's guilt, Kate will be willing to take matters into her own hands. Days of Our Lives spoilers say the week of June 23rd-27th will come with some conflict and curveballs, so stay tuned for updates on all the showdowns and stunning news ahead. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest it sounds like Salem and Genoa City will be playing the old switcheroo with actors. That's because news has broken that Young and the Restless star, Connor Floyd, who is currently on recurring status with the CBS soap as Chance Chancellor, is slated to join DOOL as Chad Dimera. This, off the cusp of former Days star Billy Flynn, joining the Y&R cast recently as the Kane Ashby recast. Interestingly enough, Flynn exited the role of Chad Dimera, the very character that Floyd will be playing. As per deadline, Floyd starts filming on the Days set as of Monday, June 23rd. Still, it's important to remember, as the daytime drama shoots several months ahead of airing, DOOL viewers won't see Floyd as Chad until April 2026, which is also around the time Flynn is set to exit Salem storylines. Floyd is slated to become Chad Dimera number 3, as the character first appeared on the canvas in 2009. Chad was first played by actor Casey Diedrich, who left the soap in 2013, and Flynn entered the part in 2014. It was earlier this year, in March, when the news hit that Flynn would be leaving the Peacock soap after 11 years and heading to the Y&R. Flynn debuted as Aristotle Dumas, who's really Kane Ashby, on the show during the week of June 16 to 20. Meanwhile, Floyd's no stranger to the world of recasts. He entered The Young and the Restless in November 2021, taking over the role of Chance Chancellor from actor Danny Boaz, and quickly became a fan favorite. In early May of last year, fans were saddened to learn that Floyd had been taken off contract, but despite his recurring status, he remained a staple in storylines thanks to his romance with Summer Newman. Plus, being the #1 cop on the GCPD, Chance was often seen on-screen solving cases and keeping the streets of the little town clean. Since Summer broke up with Chance and GC for Italy, the character hasn't been seen as much as Y&R viewers would like, but will appear in storylines during the week of June 23rd to 27, as one of the very few who snagged an invite to Dumas' party in France. He's set to arrive in Nice during the Tuesday, June 24th episode. With that said, Chance's days are numbered, as Connor Floyd steps into the shoes of Chad Dimera. Days of Our Lives spoilers remind fans that Chad has a pretty interesting romance brewing with Kat Green, so it'll be interesting to see Floyd as Chad, and if the two have the same chemistry as Kat and Billy Flynn's version of Chad. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates reveal soap fans can look forward to seeing actor Billy Flynn twice as much for the next 6 months. He revealed in March that he would be leaving DOOL for an intriguing role on the CBS soap opera The Young and the Restless. Billy made his debut this week on the CBS soap, but he'll be appearing on screen on Days for quite some time. As a matter of fact, almost an entire year. The Peacock soap has been filming 9 months ahead for at least a year now. Considering how significant Chad Dimera is on Days, fans believe it's probable that the role will be recast. The question is, with whom? Internet detectives have spotted some intriguing social media activity that appears to suggest who might be stepping in for Billy Flynn, and there are not just one, but 2 potential candidates. Continue reading for all the details on who might be stepping in as the new Chad DiMera. Billy Flynn became a part of DOOL in 2014, taking on the character of Chad DiMera, who is the illegitimate son of Stefano DiMera and Madeline Peterson Woods. Initially, Chad hesitated to accept his place within the DiMera family upon discovering his true heritage, but he has since come to terms with his dark lineage. In recent years, much of Chad's narrative has revolved around the tragic death of his wife, Abigail Devereaux, and the intriguing possibility that she might still be alive. A mysterious woman, portrayed by 90210 actress Anna Lynn McCord, arrived in Salem claiming to be Abigail, only to be later revealed as an imposter. Her actual name was Kat Green, and it was revealed that she is the daughter of Katharina Meliunas Green. Katharina is also the daughter of Constantine Meliunas, whom the late John Black believed he had killed. Despite the lies, Chad and Kat developed a bond that the show is currently delving into, although it's uncertain as to where it will lead. The actor, who spent 10 years on DOOL, expressed his thoughts after the news of his departure surfaced. He mentioned that his primary reason for leaving was to take on a different character, as he didn't want to be stuck in the same role indefinitely. Although Days viewers are sad to see Billy Flynn go, they are pleased he will remain in daytime. He may not have been the first actor to portray Chad DiMera, but many fans consider him the most unforgettable. It will be challenging for another actor to take on the role, yet the show must continue. An actor known in daytime has stirred up conversation with his social media posts. Connor Floyd portrayed Philip Chance Chancellor on The Young and the Restless from 2019 until 2024. At that time, he was reduced to a recurring role. Some fans even speculated that Billy Flynn would assume the role of Chance. However, it now appears that the situation might be reversed. Fans believe Connor Floyd might be the new Chad DiMera on Days. Social media detectives observed that the actor recently began following the official DOOL Instagram account and some cast members. Soap fans are typically cautious about recasts, but viewers of the Peacock soap embraced the idea. While Connor Floyd's activity on social media suggests he might be joining DOOL, there's another actor set to appear this summer in a secret role. Earlier this year, it was revealed that Hank Northrup would be joining the cast. He is the son of soap opera veterans Wayne Northrup and Lynn Herring. Sadly, Wayne Northrup passed away in November 2024, just a month after the legendary Drake Hogestein from DOOL. Hank Northrup is expected to make his debut this summer, but his character remains undisclosed. He might be stepping into the shoes of the new Chad DiMera. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for the week of June 23, 2025. Fans can expect to see Marlena Evans share a close moment with Roman Brady. Paul Narita and Andrew Donovan's wedding day arrives. Plus, Tony DiMera makes a bold move. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin on a cheerful note. Paul and Andrew's wedding day will finally arrive. Paul really wanted his father to be there. Unfortunately, John Black died before the wedding. There is still a possibility that John could make his presence felt as Paul gets ready to marry the love of his life. There is reason to believe that Kat Green has some kind of history with the Issa. Kat seemed truly sad that John died and stared at his framed photo for a bit longer than necessary. The blonde told Tate Black that she wouldn't exist if it weren't for John saving her mother. However, I wonder if there is more to the story. It certainly seems so, as Kat's hand is forced by Shane Donovan. Later in the week, Kat enjoys a nice moment with Chad DiMera. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of June 23rd reveal that Kate Roberts Brady turns to Alex Kyriakis for help. By the end of the conversation, Alex and Kate come to an agreement. So, this must have something to do with Philip Kyriakis and Xander Cook Kyriakis. Later, Stephanie Johnson questions Philip. The public relations professional is likely going to grill Philip about his story about the beating. Will Philip keep quiet or tell Stephanie what is really going on? If Philip tells Stephanie the truth, this could put her in a tough position with Alex. If Alex promised to share any intel about the beating with Kate, then Stephanie's trust could be betrayed. Stephanie will have a tough decision to make. By the end of the week, she gets advice from Jada Hunter. Elsewhere, Xander comes up with an idea of how to save the company. fans will also see Tony DiMera making a bold move. Jennifer Devereaux and Jack Devereaux have family bonding time with Thomas DiMera and JJ Devereaux. Rachel Black tells Marlena the truth. Later, Marlena joins Roman Brady in getting some answers from Johnny DiMera. Later, Belle Black confronts EJ DiMera. Shane believes Tate Black is reconsidering. Meanwhile, Sophia Choi begs Melinda Trask for help. Kate just happens to catch a close moment between Marlena and Roman. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, June 23, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what is coming up next. Connor Floyd is making a soap swap from YNR to Days. Days of Our Lives has a new Chad DiMera. Connor Floyd, who is still airing as Chance on The Young and the Restless, begins filming as Chad on June 23rd. According to Deadline, Billy Flynn, the current Chad, just started airing on YNR as Kane Ashby on June 19th, after it was discovered that his original character, Aristotle Dumas, was actually Kane. Because Days films so far in advance, Flynn will air on YNR and Days simultaneously until early 2026. Floyd will start airing as Chad in April 26. Flynn recently spoke to TV Insider about taking over the role. When Billy Flynn first sat down with YNR head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith, he had no idea he was being considered for the role of Kane Ashby. It wasn't until later that the opportunity was laid out, and once it was, Flynn dove in head first. He began studying the character's history, revisiting past episodes, and focusing particularly on Kane's longtime romance with Lily, played by Crystal Khalil. Although his version of Kane will bring notable differences, such as a change in accent and age dynamic, Flynn emphasized that the emotional anchor of the character remains the same. "There was a chemistry that I was like, okay, it's gonna be good," Flynn recalled, describing his immediate connection with Khalil during their first scene together. He's confident that the deep bond between Kane and Lily will still be the emotional centerpiece, no matter how the character evolves. Flynn is no stranger to taking on roles with rich histories, and while he acknowledges the work done by original portrayer Daniel Goddard, he's not looking to mimic what came before. Instead, he sees this as a chance to offer a new, fully realized interpretation of Kane. "We're going to rebrand it a bit," he explained, noting that his portrayal would be distinct yet rooted in the heart of who Kane is. As Kane makes his dramatic return to Genoa City, fans can expect a refreshed take on the character, one that promises to stay true to the essence of Kane, while pushing him into uncharted territory. Flynn's approach might be different, but the legacy of the character, and especially the love story at its center, remains firmly intact. Casey Diedrich originated the role of Chad in 2009. Flynn stepped into the role in 2014. Chad began a popular romance with Abigail Devereaux. Lindsay Godfrey shared her thoughts on the new storyline involving Rachel and Sarah, as well as whether Sarah will discover what the girl knows. Recently on Days of Our Lives, Sarah kicked Xander out, and now the two are headed for a custody fight over baby Victoria. She doesn't trust his volatility, and he doesn't trust that she'll tell him the truth. The fight over their child only deepens the level of emotions involved, and now that young Rachel is having health issues, Sarah will be thrust down memory lane. Her portrayer, Lindsay Godfrey, opened up about Sarah's relationship with Rachel. Godfrey had a chat with Soap Opera Digest and noted that the history of Sarah and Rachel's connection was exciting for her. In years past, Sarah and Eric's baby Mickey died, but was swapped with Kristen and Brady's child Rachel. So Sarah spent the first year of the child's life raising her and even managing her cancer care logistics. They do have this very interesting, very deep connection, and I love that we are revisiting that, Godfrey stated. Rachel has recently been having issues with her stomach, which could have something to do with the drama in the DiMera mansion. But Brady brought her to the hospital to double-check, and Sarah's taking a keen interest in helping her erstwhile daughter. Initially chalking Rachel's issues up to the death of her grandfather, John, Sarah has no idea about the shocking truth that the young girl is sitting on. "She doesn't really help to get down to the bottom of the truth as much," Godfrey remarked. While Rachel's been a handful over the years, she's also a witness to something that's potentially mind-bending for a little girl. The night of EJ's shooting, Rachel witnessed Johnny pointing a gun at his old man. As yet, we don't know if Johnny actually pulled the trigger, but just seeing such a scene would be overwhelming for a child. Sarah starts to notice that Rachel's got something heavy she wants to unload. And she certainly wouldn't think it was something like Johnny pointing a gun at EJ. Salem is once again shaken by an emotional whirlwind as Days of Our Lives delivers one of its most poignant and complex storylines to date. At the heart of the latest drama lies a troubling question that has fans divided and hearts broken. Did Roman Brady betray Kate Roberts by getting too close to his ex-wife, Marina Evans? As grief, compassion, and unresolved feelings collide, Roman's actions have left many questioning where his true loyalty lies, and whether Kate's once steady world is now crumbling. To understand today's emotional fallout, we must first look back. Roman Brady and Marina Evans were once a beacon of hope in Salem. Their love, though often tested, brought twin children, Eric and Sammy, into the world. But as is often the case in Salem, tragedy, betrayal, and even death disrupted their bond. Eventually, Roman found a new beginning with Kate Roberts, a woman known for her strength, business acumen, and emotional depth. Their relationship, though never picture-perfect, was built on mutual respect and healing. For Kate, Roman represented a rare sanctuary in her chaotic world. That sanctuary, however, now feels threatened. The recent death of John Black, Marina's soulmate, shattered her emotionally. Portrayed with raw intensity by Deidre Hall, Marina's grief is overwhelming. Roman, ever the protector and a man of deep emotional ties, stepped in to support her. As her ex-husband and the father of her children, he felt compelled to help her navigate her sorrow. But his comfort extended beyond friendly support. A tender embrace shared between Roman and Marina in Horton Town Square, witnessed by a stunned Kate, sparked suspicions. Though not overtly romantic, the moment revealed an emotional intimacy that cut deep. For Kate, watching Roman hold Marina with such care felt like a silent betrayal. Roman's intentions may be noble, but they're tangled in emotion. As a longtime patriarch and former police commissioner, Roman has always put others before himself. His draw to Marina is layered, part compassion, part duty, and perhaps part unresolved love. At the same time, his bond with Kate has brought him stability and happiness. Their connection helped him heal, and there's no doubt he cares deeply for her. But Marina's grief has stirred something buried inside him, a flicker of a past love that refuses to be extinguished. Every kind gesture toward Marina, every moment spent at her side, chips away at Kate's sense of security. For a woman who has fought hard for everything she has, including Roman, the idea of losing him to his past is unbearable. Kate, played powerfully by Lauren Koslow, is not one to break easily. Yet in a haunting scene, she sits alone in her mansion, her voice trembling as she confesses, "I can't lose him too." The moment strips away her strong facade, revealing a woman wounded by the fear of abandonment. She wonders if Roman ever truly moved on from Marina, or if she was simply filling a void in his heart. Should she confront him or suffer in silence? For now, Kate remains torn between pride and vulnerability, unsure if the truth will bring relief or devastation. Meanwhile, Marina remains largely unaware of the impact her grief is having on Roman's current relationship. She's not trying to interfere. She's simply clinging to someone who understands her pain. Her time with Roman brings comfort, not seduction, but it nonetheless places him in an emotionally compromising position. One heart-wrenching moment shows the depth of her sorrow. Standing at John's grave, she breaks down, whispering, "I don't know how to live without him." Roman replies gently, "You don't have to do it alone." It's a well-meaning promise, but one that threatens to cost him everything with Kate. As always in Salem, no drama stays private for long. Rumors fly at the Brady pub, where family matriarch Caroline watches with concern. At the DeMera mansion, whispers of discord are met with satisfaction by those who thrive on chaos. Even Hope Brady, caught between her loyalty to both women, laments, "Roman's trying to do the right thing, but he's breaking Kate's heart in the process." Their daughter Sammy Brady, known for her fire, confronts Roman with a warning. "You're playing with fire, and Kate's not the kind of woman who will just sit back and take it." The future remains uncertain. Will Roman and Marina rekindle their romance, or will Roman recommit to Kate before it's too late? Will Marina find strength in herself rather than in others? And will Kate choose to fight for her love or walk away on her own terms? A sneak peek into next week's episodes shows Kate staring at an old photo of her and Roman, whispering, "I've been through too much to let this destroy me." Her words hint at a fierce determination, but whether it's to reclaim Roman's heart or move on remains to be seen. At its core, this storyline isn't just about romance. It's about the emotional tug-of-war between duty and desire, between honoring the past and embracing the present. Roman, Kate, and Marina are each navigating a storm of grief, loyalty, and longing. And as viewers, we're reminded that even the strongest hearts can falter. As Salem holds its breath, one thing is certain. Days of Our Lives is delivering emotionally charged drama that strikes at the very heart of what it means to love and to be human. As summer sets in, Days of Our Lives is turning up the heat, not just in romance, but in drama, departures, and emotional battles that promise to reshape the show's future. From a surprising baby recast to a heartfelt wedding and looming custody battles, fans should prepare for some powerful storylines that dig deep into the heart of Salem. One of the biggest shifts is the return of Victoria Kyriakis, daughter of Xander Kyriakis and Sarah Horton. Previously portrayed by twins Issa and Paisley Kerr, the role is now taken over by Amelia and Kennedy Heilman beginning June 26th. But this isn't just a case of swapping child actors. Victoria is stepping into the spotlight as the emotional center of a custody war. Sarah, still reeling from Xander's violent past, refuses to allow joint custody of their daughter. Her fears are amplified after a recent outburst from Xander that reminded everyone of his darker days. As tensions mount, Victoria is no longer just a baby in the background. She's the key figure in a battle that could shatter what's left of this broken family. Expect more screen time for Victoria as the courtroom clashes intensify, and as Sarah and Xander confront not just each other, but their own past mistakes. For a brief time, fans believed Xander might be on a redemptive path. But as Sarah blocks him from sharing custody, his composure unravels. What starts as frustration spirals into threats and aggression, revealing just how close he remains to the dangerous man he once was. To Sarah, this isn't a simple dispute. It's a question of safety. Xander's words and behavior have shaken her trust to the core. She's ready to fight not just for custody, but for peace of mind. And yet, the tragedy lies in Xander's love for his daughter. It's real, but it's tangled in possessiveness and pain. With Victoria watching his every move, his legacy now hangs in the balance. If he doesn't change course, he risks losing everything. Amid the turmoil, a bright moment lifts spirits. Paul Narita and Andrew Donovan are finally tying the knot. After overcoming long-distance struggles and personal obstacles, the couple's wedding, set between June 23rd and 27, brings warmth and joy to fans. The celebration features returning fan favorites like Shane Donovan, Carrie Brady, Will Horton, and Eric Brady, turning the event into a heartfelt reunion. But the happiness is short-lived. As soon as vows are exchanged, Paul and Andrew depart for an extended honeymoon and a fresh start away from Salem. Though their goodbye is filled with hope and the promise of a future return, their absence leaves a noticeable void. Their love story represented resilience, loyalty, and meaningful LGBTQ+ representation, elements that will be deeply missed as darker storylines unfold. Not all returns are loud, and that makes them even more powerful. Young actor Carey Christopher reprises his role as Thomas DiMera, a character whose sweet demeanor masks his deep connections to both the DiMera and Horton families. Though Thomas may appear innocent, Salem has a history of secrets slipping out through the eyes and ears of its youngest residents. With the DiMera family fractured, EJ recovering from a gunshot wound, Johnny under suspicion, and the family legacy in chaos, Thomas's reappearance could either offer healing or spark more destruction. Whether he becomes a quiet witness or a catalyst, one thing is clear. His presence is no coincidence as June draws to a close. Days of Our Lives prepares for a summer of sweeping change. With emotional exits and striking new faces, the stories ahead promise to challenge relationships, test loyalties, and redefine what family means in Salem. The recasting of Victoria marks more than just a fresh look. It signals the beginning of a custody battle that could leave lasting emotional scars. Paul and Andrew's touching farewell is a reminder that even in soap operas, love can endure, and sometimes walk away. And Thomas's quiet return may hold the key to secrets that could change the course of the DiMera family forever. Meanwhile, Xander teeters between redemption and collapse. Each decision he makes, every line he crosses, will determine not just his future with Victoria, but whether he becomes the villain Salem fears once more. Conclusion: don't look away. This summer, Days of Our Lives is more than just steamy love stories and unexpected twists. It's about emotional evolution, loss, hope, and the constant struggle for redemption. Whether it's a returning child, a departing couple, or a father at war with himself, every storyline is laying the groundwork for a powerful new chapter. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for the week of June 23rd, 2025. Fans can expect to see Kate Roberts Brady ask Alex Kyriakis for an agreement. Marlena Evans and Roman Brady share a moment together. Plus, Paul Narita and Andrew Donovan get married. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin on a positive note and talk about Paul and Andrew's upcoming wedding. It will be at the end of Pride Month. Even though Paul really wanted John Black at the nuptials, the man passed away. I still believe that there might be a scene before or during the wedding that lets Paul know that John is there, watching with a smile. There is speculation that Kat Green could secretly be an ISA agent. There is some kind of connection with Shane Donovan. It is teased that next week, Shane forces Kat's hand, explaining their connection. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of June 23rd reveal that Kate goes to Alex with a proposition. This must have something to do with Philip Kyriakis and Xander Cook Kyriakis. The two do end up making a deal, but this could force Alex into a tangled web of deception. Later, Philip is questioned by Stephanie Johnson. At the end of the week, though, Stephanie gets some advice from Jada Hunter. Meanwhile, Xander has a plan on how to save Titan DiMera. Fans will also see Tony DiMera taking matters into his own hands. Jack Devereaux and Jennifer Devereaux enjoy game night with JJ Devereaux and Thomas DiMera. Rachel Black opens up to Marlena. Later, Marlena and Roman confront Johnny DiMera about EJ DiMera's shooting. Later, EJ is confronted by Belle Black. Shane can sense that Tate Black is having doubts. Elsewhere, Sophia Choi turns to Melinda Trask for help. Belle confides in Carrie Brady Reed. Kate witnesses a close moment between Roman and Marlena. Plus, Chad DiMera enjoys a nice evening with Kat. It sounds like these two are getting closer, so stay tuned.